So this is Ned Kelly. He was born 3rd of June 1854 in Beveridge, Victoria in Australia. He was the son of a convict that was deported from Great Britain, which was quite common back those days, as the UK was running out of prison space and also population was rising, so there wasn't actually much space left for the rising population. Didn't take him long to start entering the family trade, and he got arrested at the age of 14 for attacking a pig farmer. He spent 10 days in prison, and then the charges were dropped, only for him to later on in 1869 be arrested for being an accomplice on other charges that he ended up being released without conviction. In 1870 he got arrested again and did 6 months hard labour for an assault charge. 3 weeks later he got released early and got in trouble again for assaulting a police officer and for possession of stolen goods, which he then got 3 years imprisonment. On his release, he started working with his stepfather, whose name was George King, and that was working with cattle. On 25th of October 1878, the police went out to try and find him and capture him to bring him to station or before the courts, whatever. And him and his brother Dan found their campsite at Stringyback Creek and spied on them. Later on decided that they were going to approach the campsite and ask the police to basically go away, surrender, go away and whatever. Constable McIntyre dropped his gun and agreed to surrender, and then Constable Lanigan had drawn his weapon and Ned Kelly just shot him dead. As other policemen had arrived, Ned Kelly had shot 2 other constables dead, and then Constable McIntyre, who was the one that agreed to put down his weapon, he ran away and was unscathed. While there was all the commotion going on, Ned Kelly had taken one of the gold fob watches off one of the dead constables and taken it and made a remark saying, "What's the use of a watch to a dead man?" and then kept on continuing with gunfire. In response to the triple murder, Victoria's Parliament had decided that they were going to pass a Felon Apprehension Act, which allows anyone to shoot any member of the Kelly gang. On 10th of December 1878, the Kelly gang robbed a bank and took £2,000, which in today's currency is a bit more than £304,000 ish. In 1879 they robbed another bank in New South Wales, and in 1880 they arrived in Glenurran and showed up in homemade armour. The armour looked like this. I think this is in one of the museums in Australia, or not. I'll just double check that fact actually, and I'll leave it in the comments later on. But they started a gun battle in one of the inns there in Glenurran. Any bullets that were shot at him would rebound off the armour, but then the police had realised that his legs weren't protected, so they just started aiming at his legs. Everyone else in the Kelly gang had perished in the hotel, and there was 2 that committed suicide. One was Dan Kelly and the other one was Steve Hart, and Joe Byrne had died of blood loss. On November 11th, 1880, Ned Kelly was hanged for the murder of Constable Lanigan. That was done at Melbourne girl. It's just another picture of him. Fun fact, over 30,000 people signed a petition for clemency for Ned Kelly. So even though he was an outlaw and he did those things, he was loved by a lot of people also. So he wasn't all bad, but that's Ned Kelly. Here we go. If you have anyone that you want me to talk on or do a quick story time on, just leave a comment and I'll go through them and go from there.